fitness and live in Northern California, there's a decent chance you've heard of Holmes Nutrition. Anyone that has tried Holmes Nutrition protein powder would say the following two things about it. One, that it's the most delicious protein powder they've ever had, and two, that it tastes just like cake batter. The powder itself even advertises how it's great for baking. One scoop has 22 grams of protein and only 3 grams of sugar, but it tastes so much like cake batter that someone got suspicious. This Redditor sent in 3 different flavors of Holmes Nutrition to a lab. They sent samples of chocolate cake, lemon cake, and cinnamon crumb cake to this lab, Certified Laboratories, and all 3 powders came back with the same results. Instead of 22 grams of protein, this protein powder had 20.
Damn! Straight up, I take protein powder. Just your standard whey protein powder, either in the bag or the big container. I don't understand why people go for the crazy flavors. Just go for chocolate or vanilla. If you're trying to take protein powder so you can get gym gains, aka get healthier, why are you trying to get these crazy flavors? Lemon cake? Just let it go, dude. That was too good to be true. 22 grams of protein, only 3 grams of sugar, and tastes exactly like cake batter. Remember what I said yesterday? When it's too good to be true, usually it's because it is. And listen. You know what I said? Sometimes when you question something, the simplest answer is because... No, the hardest questions have the simplest answers. Why is this so good when it tastes like cake batter? Spoiler alert, it's probably just cake batter. This is a scam.
21 grams of carbs instead, and only 3.4 grams of protein per scoop.
Oh my dear Lord.
Ever since going to the Muscle Girls Cafe in Tokyo, Japan, and subsequently watching Physical 100, I've been absolutely obsessed with getting buff and working out. I was lifting at the gym 5 days a week, and of course, I was hitting my protein macros each and every day. Or so I thought. So you can imagine my absolute despair and nausea when I found out that my favorite protein powder that I had been using for years was not even protein powder at all. Just a sweet
Go back. I've never seen this. Do you guys see something wrong with this picture? Look, B-Force Extreme Isolate Whey Protein. Great for baking? How? How do people not notice that? Protein powder isn't meant for baking. You know what is good for baking? Cake batter. I know, okay. The company is shit. The guy who made this or the person that made this is shit. But people. We have 2 eyeballs. Use them. It says great for baking. Every single alarm bell should be ringing.
Was not even protein powder at all. Just a sweet batter mix with trace amounts of protein. An egg, a single egg, has double the amount of protein than my protein powder had. The protein powder I was spending $75 per bag on.
Oh my god. To the people who don't lift, yes? To the people who don't go to the gym, people who don't lift, to the guys and girls who can eat 6 Big Macs, 9 fries, 55 burgers, 55 shakes, whatever, and just not gain weight, just ignore what I'm about to say. If you are spending $75 on protein powder, this is not crazy, by the way. Protein powder is not cheap. Protein powder is expensive. especially in the bigger containers. They are not fucking cheap. Is it crazy for me to respond to this take and say, hold on, if you are going to buy a $75 bag of protein powder and it says here right on the left side, great for baking, shouldn't you think about that real quick? Shouldn't you Google? You're doing this on the computer. Shouldn't you just Google, hey, is it normal for protein powder to be used for baking as well? You know what? Let's test it actually. Let's test it. Yes, protein powder is great for baking to boost nutrition. Oh. Well, this is just weird. Shit. Sorry guys. You know what? Let's just forget that happened. Let's just move on. Let's just forget any of this has ever happened. Just move on.
Protein powder I was spending $75 per bag on. For years, I unknowingly was essentially working out and then immediately celebrating afterwards each day with a scoop of cake batter. I can't just sit and stew in my room and be mad about it all by myself. I need other people to know about this because this is crazy. So first of all, Holmes Nutrition Protein Powder is not sold in big box stores or on Amazon. It's a company created by Sacramento-based bodybuilder Bobby Holmes and his wife. It's only available on its website, holmesnutrition.com. So how did I even find out about this protein? Only available on its website. Is not sold in big box stores or on Amazon. It's a company created by Sacramento-based bodybuilder Bobby Holmes.
By a bodybuilder?
And his wife. It's only available on its website, holmesnutrition.com. So how did I even find out about this protein powder in the first place? Well, the smoothies that my gym made were fantastic. So one day I peeped at the protein powder they use and I wrote it down and then went home and started buying some. And it was just delicious. It got to the point that any person that entered my house, I would be offering them some of this amazing protein powder, saying it tastes just like cake batter, and they would agree. I felt like I discovered the holy grail of
I never had cake batter before, by the way.
So sweet, but only has
honey and the honey scandal. Yeah, I do remember that. I used honey.
Artificial sweeteners, but this one uses cane sugar, sweet whey, and creamer. So I thought they just cracked the code on sweetness. But if things seem too good to be true, they probably are.
If they cracked the code on sweetness, why wouldn't they want to put this in mainstream stores? Brother, you cracked the code. You can make healthy protein powder that tastes exactly like dessert? Why wouldn't you want to market this as much as possible? Why wouldn't you want to put this in every single store across the world? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Do you know why? It's because he knew that the more eyes people were looking at his protein powder, the secret was gonna get out. He just wanted to be low-key, make some money locally, and then get the fuck out. That's what he wanted to do. But guess what? Thanks to that one Redditor who had a brain, bust.
So for me, I'm one of the lucky ones because this just affects my gains, but for others, this is a major health issue. The Redditor included in their post that they even saw a comment on Bobby's Instagram from someone saying their blood sugar shot up despite the label claiming low sugar and carbs.
Oh, that is so bad.
Matters worse,
that's scary.
In the comments, people were buying this protein for their diet.
What infuriates me even more is that I've been buying this protein powder for my diabetic family members and friend, only to find out they have been having issues with their glucose levels the entire time they've been taking this. Oh my God. That's not even just scary. That's life-threatening. That is life-threatening. How could you do this? I started to pay more attention to the whole diabetic scene. People are type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetics, pre-diabetics, yes? Everything, obviously, is centered around glucose and blood sugar levels. Managing that is hard. It is so hard. The cravings are bad, and then your energy levels fluctuate so much. It is so hard. So, oh my God, for these people, they could have died. They could have died because of this. That is crazy. This Holmes guy, like, actually just, it is so obvious now. This guy's willing to kill people for money. Now with the gun, with sugar. I mean, that's not the first time, but she's not going to be the last either.
Diabetic family member.
You know that the person predicted something off was Markiplier? Yeah, Markiplier was smart. If you think about Honey, okay, we're getting a little bit off track, but I still want to answer your comment. Honey was kind of suspicious when you actually took the time to think about it. I think people just got so excited saying, ooh, automatic coupon finder. You know what I mean? Because they made it more convenient. It doesn't make sense how Honey made money. How were they making money? It is such a simple question. It takes just a tiny bit of self-awareness to ask these very important questions.
That have been having issues with their glucose while taking this. And this commenter had real-time data that this protein powder was causing.
This is so unfortunate. I like Bobby. I've been using his protein for 10 plus years. I knew it made my blood sugar spike. I have Dexcom CGM, but it was a quick spike and came down, so I didn't mind. But I did need a protein supplement. I'm bummed. Dude. 10 plus years support, all for nothing. Bummed is an understatement.
The original
That's like a slap to the face.
The lab results were posted on Reddit on March 3rd, 2025. On March 27, they posted an update saying that Holmes Nutrition has removed all of their protein powders from their online store.
Good.
So when we go to the Holmes Nutrition website, it has the following messages, starting with the bottom being the oldest. Unfortunately, we have encountered an unexpected issue with the manufacturing facility for the protein. Due to the large increase in demand, the current facility was having issues. We are quickly searching for a new manufacturer. We hope to find a company that can grow with us. We are also working with a different manufacturer on growing our line of supplements and hope to add to the pre/post as soon as we can. Please check the site for updates, and if you have any suggestions for new protein flavors, please send us an email. The next update says, we are still diligently working on vetting new manufacturers and will share an update as soon as we can. Once protein is available for purchase, we will notify everyone via email. We absolutely love your flavor suggestions. Please keep them coming.
Oh, shut the fuck
final
up.
Update saying, we are sorry there is such a delay. This will be our fourth manufacturer.
Why is everything in
and by far the
italics?
hardest to find. Unfortunately, we don't have a date yet, but we are working hard on this every day. The protein market is flooded, so manufacturers only want to work with large players.
Nah, fuck you. You have absolutely no right to say that. The protein market is flooded, so manufacturers only want to work with large players. Correction, buddy. Fucking correction. They want to work not with large players. They want to work with people who are not scammers. If you have a good product and you manage to get their attention, I don't see why they wouldn't want to work with you, because you guys can make each other money. But spoiler alert, when you scam people, somebody gets screwed, and that's the manufacturer. They don't want to work with scammers, bro. Just admit it, you are a scammer. You are a straight up scammer. Fuck you.
As soon as we have any solid information, we will update the site. We will definitely
I don't
email everyone
get-
when we know exact
I get
dates.
it doesn't taste as
For
good, but it's not
myself,
really worth
was
it.
either in March or April of this year, 2025, that I first noticed the products were unavailable on the website
Just
and
get the
that Holmes
basic
was
ones.
citing manufacturer issues. So since the Reddit post was already up by the time I independently noticed their website, I don't have definitive data to show if the products were pulled down before the post went up or after or in response to this post exposing them. But
It's probably
given
after.
the timeline within the post, it seems that these messages on the site were after or in response to this Reddit post. When you Google Holmes Nutrition, this Reddit post is not at the very top, so I didn't even see this post until 2 days ago from the time of recording this video.
9
But
months
prior
ago.
to seeing this Reddit post, since March, I had been diligently waiting and checking the website every few weeks, waiting to see if the protein was back on sale. And I was always running into these messages on the website. And honestly, the reasoning always sounded to me kind of like obfuscation and like a pretext to some real truth, even before I found
We
this
should check
Reddit
out the
post.
website after
You
this
would
video.
think that if the protein had such a large increase in demand, they'd at least stay with their current manufacturer until they could find a larger facility to get their product out and at least have partial production. They've been down since at least March, which means that that's at least 9 months of no sales. They've also completely removed all protein powders from their site, which is unusual for a company just facing production issues. The fact that they've removed all products is more consistent with trying to avoid selling a misbranded product rather than just having issues with production. So what does sound more plausible than having issues finding a manufacturer is being exposed for inaccurate nutrition facts, which is a major legal and regulatory issue. Okay, wait. As I was editing this video, I saw this Instagram post from Diamond Tier Fitness, which is this gym in northern Sacramento, that said it's selling Holmes Protein. It says, "It's that time again. The best tasting protein, Holmes Protein, is back and all your favorite flavors are in."
$75 for 5 pounds? 5? 5. Ow, my ear. 5 pounds?
Stock. But as of right now, they are still not selling it online. So it looks like they're selling it like directly, like hyper locally. I don't know why they're not selling it through their site or if they've resolved any of the issues, but as of right now, they still have not addressed the lab results. And the Instagram post said that the product would be shipped by December 8th, which is a few weeks before right now. So I don't know if they're going to put it back on their site or what, but as of today, they are selling it directly. And the fact that they're taking this route instead of just putting it back on their site is fishy. Speaking of legal and regulatory issues, while I was writing out this video and looking at my bag of protein powder, I noticed that the dietary and dietary fiber on the bag is spelled wrong. So
Bro, are we for real right now? Are we being so for real right now? Are you serious? It's not really worth it. Dietary. You know what this means? Just straight up, do you know what this means? This is photoshopped.
So this indicates that Bobby and his wife created this nutrition label themselves, which is allowed by the FDA, but does open the door for extreme inaccuracy and lack of trustworthiness in what's claimed on the label. So the FDA does not approve supplements or protein powders, so you're never going to see the FDA approved stamp on any of them, but that doesn't mean they are exempt from the FDA's labeling regulations. They still have to follow the FDA labeling laws. In addition, it includes non-dairy creamer as an ingredient, but pursuant to the Code of Federal Regulations, Title 21, Section 101.4b, if
Nerd.
an ingredient is made from 2 or more ingredients, it must declare the established common or usual name of the ingredient, followed by a parenthetical listing of all ingredients that ingredient is made of. So, this has more ingredients that make up that non-dairy creamer, like vegetable oil or possibly even dipotassium phosphate, which are common ingredients in non-dairy creamer that are just not listed in the ingredients list. Additionally, it says cane sugar as an ingredient, so we know there are added sugars, but it just lists sugars, 3 grams. The Code of Federal Regulations, Title 21, Section 101.9, specifies that added sugars must be declared separately from total sugars and include the percent daily value. So,
Oh, pause. Hold on. Sorry. I put cotton. Okay, hold on. I put cotton in my right ear. So that way when I get loud, I don't hear the static in my ear. I don't think it is hearing loss. I think it's just earwax that's pressed against my eardrum. And my ear doesn't like that. So I can get loud. But instead of hearing the static, I just hear like the pressure. Like the air moving. Wait. Test. Holy! Wow! Okay, yeah, I just hear the air. Cool. Let us continue.
Not only is the protein and carb content completely misstated, but there are just so many problems with pretty much every aspect of the packaging. In the post, the Redditor suspects amino spiking as the cause for this discrepancy in protein content, stating, lab results strongly suggest amino spiking may be happening here. So, as a quick mini biology lesson, when we build muscle, it needs protein because protein provides the essential amino acids or the building blocks to fill in those tears we get from exercise and to build new muscle tissue. And so for amino acids, we have essential and non-essential amino acids. The non-essential amino acids are the ones that our body can produce, so we don't need to get that through supplements. The essential amino acids are the ones that will help us build that muscle and is what we need to obtain from outside food sources. So amino spiking is using cheap, junky, non-essential amino acids to artificially increase the overall protein content of a powder. So they'll use these junk amino acids that our body can already produce, like taurine, glycine, L-arginine, and L-glutamine. And these amino acids will not help you build muscle. So we don't need to get them as a supplement because it's not going to do anything for muscle synthesis. So when you take a protein supplement, you want to be taking essential amino acids. And so amino spiking is a pretty well-known issue in the protein powder and supplement industry, but the Redditor says that the lab results show that this is indicative of amino spiking, but let's look at the common telltale signs of spiking.
So this Holmes guy is intentional. What I was thinking before is that, first of all, this guy knew that he was scamming people, but I thought he literally just put in like real cake batter. Am I wrong? It's just that he just put in a whole bunch of random shit that kind of helps you out at the gym, but it's mainly just a shit ton of sugar. He didn't actually put in the proper protein because you know why? I'm assuming if he actually did put in the real protein, it would mean that one, it wouldn't taste as good. And his whole marketing was just built on him making protein powder that tasted like the real thing.
First sign, is the protein powder cheap? In this case, no, it is not cheap. Secondly, does it include taurine? Taurine will not help you build muscle, but it is a common, cheap, non-essential amino acid that is included whenever amino spiking is a thing. According to the amino acid profile on the bag, this protein powder does not include taurine. Does it include glycine? Yes, but a small percentage according to the profile. Does it include high amounts of L-arginine? Not with respect to the other amino acids in this profile. Does it include high amounts of L-glutamine? No, it's not present. So just going through the standard checks for amino spiking, we're not seeing clear evidence of that. Now, given the rest of the inconsistencies
I am like
on the
pretending to
bag,
understand.
I'm not sure how much stock we can take in the listed amino acid profile, but even completely disregarding the amino acid profile on the bag, amino spiking would still show up as protein in lab tests. So the lab test listed would not be showing only 11% protein on the results if it was amino spiked. This lab test specifically uses the Kjeldahl method, which would still read high protein. Given these facts, I disagree with the original poster that Holmes is using amino spiking. To me personally, it really just seems like we just have a complete misrepresentation of the protein versus carbs content and that the nutrition and ingredients label is just simply wrong. I'm not a lawyer or a judge, so I can't say whether this was intentionally deceptive or just severe incompetence. But either way,
Nah, but either way, anybody should and could and would, they should sue the absolute living fuck out of this guy.
if Holmes is misstating their protein content, they're not the first ones to do this. The demand for protein products is at an all-time high and continues to rise, but the supply chain can't keep up with this increase in demand, and so the price of whey and whey isolate is a lot higher now. So this opens up that pressure element of the fraud triangle. And
Oh wait, I've never seen this. The fraud triangle: pressure, rationalization, and opportunity. So there's an opportunity to make more protein, but there's pressure to keep up with the demand, and they rationalize doing bad things because of the pressure and opportunity. Okay.
the way for some
I'm
shady
learning.
dealings. In April of 2021, Beaumar Nutrition was sued for overstating the protein content of their protein products, and the test results showed that the protein powders had way less than even half of the protein content they had stated on the packaging. There was also a lawsuit against Premier Protein for not actually containing the amount of protein that was advertised on their labels. And even Muscle Milk was sued for false advertisement. They listed some of their products as being lean, even though it had the same amount of fat as all of their other products. So at the very least, misstatements or false advertising among protein products is not unheard of. And several commenters in the original Reddit post were very on board with a class action lawsuit against Holmes Nutrition. But according to the original poster, somebody already looked into a class action, but found that Holmes Nutrition just apparently doesn't have enough assets to make it worth pursuing legally.
Are you for real?
I know this was a long video, but I just had to talk about this.
So they got away with it?
YouTubers were very on board with a class action lawsuit against Holmes Nutrition. But according to the original poster, somebody already looked into a class action, but found that Holmes Nutrition just apparently doesn't have enough assets to make it worth pursuing legally.
Oh my god. So then they pretty much got away with it. They didn't make millions of dollars, but they got the bag and they can just walk away. They don't even have to run. They just walk away. Nah. No. Holmes Nutrition. Oh, okay. They posted an update. Look, they posted an update. Due to inaccurate information being disseminated, we have received racial hate threats against our family that are very graphic in nature. Authorities are involved and will be investigating this as a hate crime and trying to find who sent the threatening hate mails. This site will be taken down in the next few days. First of all, racism is not good. Can we agree? Racism is not good. Being racist is not good. Getting hate for being a scammer? Kinda deserved, man. You deserve all the hate. This guy deserves all the fucking heat. This guy needs to get fucking blasted. Racially blasted? No. I don't care what race you are. What I care about is you scamming the fuck out of people who have your product and you could have potentially killed people. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an undocumented death. Maybe somebody took this protein, they died, but nobody thought the protein was the reason why they died. Right? I legitimately think that might be a thing. I do not think I'm crazy. Somebody probably died from this, but they just did not make it public because they don't even know the protein was the culprit. This girl didn't even find out that the product that she's been buying was a scam until like 9 months later when she found the Reddit thread. Products and recipes, about, FAQ, online store, more, gallery, testimonials. Oh wait. Zoom out. Nevada State Bodybuilding Championships 2016. I've tried many varieties of protein out there over the years of training and none even come close. My brother in Christ, you can't use a testimonial from 2016, man. So this guy's a scammer, but he's also dumb as shit. My God, your website design is so bad. Look at the overlapping text boxes. This speech bubble is overlapping with the text box above it. He's still selling. This guy is still selling. Post-workout. Add to bag. Wait, there's no way we can check out. Oh my God, we can actually check out. This guy is still selling? Oh my God, this is so insane. That is crazy. My guy got put on fucking blast and he's still selling. Not protein powder, mind you. Oh no, he's moved on to something new. What is he selling nowadays? Oh, he's selling pre-workout, post-workout. Oh, dear Lord. It is never enough, is it? It is never enough. It is never enough. I'm willing to bet money. This guy won't even ship your product. This guy will straight up just take your money. Protein cake. This is the most 2005 looking website I've ever seen. Why does the background look like they just went outside and took a photo of the concrete? Oh my God. Dude, fuck this guy.